Hi, everyone. It is Muneeza. We are live on Facebook right now. I am so excited to have you all here. This is uber great. Yay. Um, it's good to connect with you all again. How are you guys doing? Let me know. It's been a while since we connected. I have a very special guest for you tonight. Somebody who has is a very revered and treasured um, friend and client, and I cannot wait to introduce you to him. So let me bring him on, and uh, so you guys can see him. All right, Ed, can you hear me? I'm just making sure he comes on. Give me a second. Okay, everyone who is coming on here, look at everyone saying hello. There's Sheila and Athena and Jackie and Robin and Charlene and Grace and Ina and Fionn and Sheila and Carissa and Jennifer and another Sheila. Or same Sheila. Ina Komen, Suzanne, Jody. Yes, it's being recorded. Yay. All right. Let's take a look. All right, so I promoted him to panelist. Ed, let me know if you can hear me, my dear. Ed, can you hear me?
Can you hear me now?
Yes, I can hear you. Amazing. Is your camera on, Ed?
It should be.
Okay, I see a picture of a cute little doggy.
That's my dog. I don't know how to turn my camera on.
Well, there should be, look on the bottom of the panel. There should be a thing that says video, stop video. It should be canceled out or it should be on. You can click on that button.
I'm looking.
Okay.
That's Oliver, my dog, by the way.
Hey, Oliver, you are just too cute for words. Did you find it on the bottom panel?
It's not on the bottom panel. I'm on my iPad.
Oh, okay. Well, look around. Is there somewhere where it says video? Because it's not coming on from my end. I can definitely see you.
No, I can't find it.
Can't find it?
No.
All right. Well, we will have to do this without looking at your face. You can hear your amazing voice, and I think that would be awesome for everyone. So, everybody who's on the live, let me know if you can hear Ed. Can you hear Ed talking?
Can you hear me, guys?
Yes, I'm getting a lot of yeses. So
Okay.
Great. Awesome. Great. All right, everyone. So Ed is an amazing guy. He's one of my favorite people to talk to. And he sort of came into my life. How long ago, Ed? Like over a year, right? Over a year
ago? August of 2016.
Okay, so you're tracking it. That's
Yeah.
awesome. That's awesome. Yeah, so over a year, and you came to me with, having a lot of ulcerative colitis.
Yes.
Right? And tell us a little bit about your story. Tell us how you got sick, what happened, and what really brought you to medical medium.
I first got diagnosed with ulcerative colitis in 2012. And it happened at a time where my dad had just passed away from lung cancer, and my mom had breast cancer for about 4 or 5 years, and she was about to pass away in 2013 from her breast cancer. So I was very stressed out during that time. So when I was first diagnosed with ulcerative colitis, I thought, really there has to be something more than meds. I had this very, gut visceral feeling that I don't want to be taking these huge pills and, injecting myself all the time with the medication. I did try it at first. That was one of the first things I tried. I went and I did the traditional approach. But then I also tried the paleo approach. I tried the specific carbohydrate diet approach, which is, a diet which is kind of a holistic alternative approach to treating inflammatory bowel disease, which ulcerative colitis is. I tried, just eating whatever I want for a little while. That didn't work. And I decided, after trying all these alternative things, to go back to regular medicine, because in 2014, I had a really bad flare. I ended up in the hospital twice for a week each time. And and that was after I had tried the traditional medicine. So I got to a point really where I said, there has to be something better. There has to be something different. And just kind of by accident, I was looking through podcasts one day and I found the Medical Medium. And, I decided to just give it a try. And I started making smoothies. I started with the spirulina. I started taking the supplements. And that summer, which was summer 2015, I started to feel a lot better.
That's amazing. So you just did that all on your own?
Yeah, all on my own. Once I found the Medical Medium, his books weren't out yet. So I kind of pieced together his protocol from random pieces of interviews and podcasts and anything I could find on the internet. And I started to feel better.
I didn't know that. That's that you pieced that all together, and it was actually before his books were out. That's incredible.
Yeah. He used to give talks, so I would make little charts and write everything down, what he recommended with the spirulina and nettle and vitamin C and lysine and all those things.
That's amazing. So tell us what happened then.
So for about a year, I was doing really, really well. But unfortunately, in those talks and, even in Anthony's books, you really don't get the levels of supplements you should take, how much vitamin C, how much lysine you should take. So I was just looking at, the label on the side of the supplement and taking whatever they recommended. And, it helped me for a little while, but after coming to work with you, I realized I needed a lot different levels of supplements. And so in the summer of 2016, I started to have a flare up of my ulcerative colitis. And what I've come to figure out is that every summer, I always have a huge flare up of my ulcerative colitis during grass pollen season. And that's what happened in the summer of 2016. I had this huge flare up, and I went to the Medical Medium website and I saw that you were one of the recommended practitioners there, and I got in contact with you.
Right. That's when we connected. And so at that time you were still having a lot of issues, right? You were a little better and you believed that the protocols could work, but because you tried them on your own.
Yes.
And then what really played a factor in your healing? Like, can you tell people what the journey was about for the most part?
The journey has a lot of different components. First, I got in touch with you, and you really helped me out with getting the proper levels of of vitamin C, of the lysine. I found out through you about the liposomal C, which was a lot easier for me to digest than the ester C pills, because with the inflammatory bowel disease, it's very hard for me to digest a lot of things that other people can. So we kind of had to, use the liposomal C instead of the ester C, because those would really burn my stomach. But there's also, like an emotional, spiritual element to it. And also through the Medical Medium website, I started to work with Carol Ritchie.
Mm-hmm.
We used to talk about a lot of emotional things, a lot of things, unresolved issues I had with both my parents passing they passed so suddenly. I had, a lot of unresolved issues with about them passing, that it was such a crazy time when my parents were sick and then passed, that, even today I'm still kind of uh, realizing, things are starting to catch up. So,
Right.
solving the emotional component was one thing, and then also the physical with the supplements and the diet, um, were two things I had to take care of. And then also there's a spiritual element. Before I got sick, before my parents got sick, I was, I would say, just non-spiritual. I didn't really think of that. I just kind of went off into the world in my life and just, dealt with what was right in front of me and didn't think about that kind of stuff. And now I've become a lot more spiritual.
That's amazing. So I loved hearing again from you how important the emotional piece was. So you'd say that it was probably equally as important as doing the supplements and the food.
Definitely.
So what was it that was triggering? Was it triggering stress for you? Was it a constant stress? What changed by doing the emotional work?
Well, I've realized that stress is a big trigger for my health. And, there's I could drink gallons of celery juice, but and if I don't get my stress under control,
Yeah.
nothing's gonna change. So really getting stress under control is a big thing. And I'm even, learning that today. I just started a new job in September. I'm a special education teacher, and I kind of work in a stressful environment. And I love working. I love my job, but it's, new environment. It's new kids, and it's stressful, and it's a big lesson for me to realize that I really need to handle stress.
Well, that's amazing that you actually got all that together. I'm going to put this out there because I don't mean to put men down, but I think that in general, men, first of all, have a hard time coming to their health physically, leave aside emotionally, but you came at it both ways. And I think that that's really commendable. And I think men listening or women listening who have partners who may not be, who may be resisting or may not be willing to come on board can hear this story coming from another man who, took his health literally by the bull by the horns and went at it. And you had such incredible results and you got so much better. And so I wanted to give people an idea of how the journey was, because it wasn't all smooth sailing. Like you didn't just get better and better and better and better, right?
No, no, no. It's like, I feel like it's like layers of an onion. I start to get better, and then I have to deal with something, and I have to peel back another layer, and then I get better, and then, you do something else, and you have to deal with another layer of the onion. For me, that's how my healing has gone.
Yeah. So you would get better with the ulcerative colitis, and then you would have a flare again, right? That
Hmm.
happened several times.
Yes.
So just give people an idea of how you dealt with that, because I think that a lot of people feel that if they have a flare or something happens, that they're really just going backwards and not healing or going forwards, and it becomes a very doom and gloom situation. And I know you've had your moments with that too, but just share what did you think helped you the most, and what tools did you have to help you deal with the emotional piece while you were in a flare dealing with the whole physical piece?
Yeah. Well, uh, two things you have to have. And like I said before, I was non-spiritual, and this experience, if you want to look at it as a kind of gift, it really has taught me to have faith. Because sometimes when you're on the couch and you don't have energy to get off the couch, other than to head to the bathroom for, the umpteenth time for the day, you really have to have faith that this is going to get better. And then the other thing you have to do is, with the faith, you have to make a plan, and you have to have, once again, have faith in the plan. So when I'm having a flare, I look at the different things I can do. Maybe, with ulcerative colitis, I've heard Anthony say that many times he's seen people with inflammatory bowel disease have papaya, smoothie bowls, and it's cleared up overnight. So when I have a flare, I'll go with a papaya smoothie bowl. I'll have just banana and water smoothies. I since I've had a number of flare-ups, I kind of know what works for me during the flare-ups also. Um,
Yeah.
and the medical medium protocols really has helped me with that. Like the banana smoothies, the celery juice really help. Like I said, the papaya bowls. So I have a plan. And I should also mention that my flare-ups, since working with you, I have a flare-up, but they're a little bit less than the one before. So, that gives me a little bit of encouragement also.
Well, that's amazing that you also put that piece in at the end, because I think that people think that when you flare, you just go completely all backwards. And sometimes it's like you might go backwards, but you're not 4 steps backwards, you're just 2 steps back, right? Um,
Yes. Another thing I've noticed is sometimes I'll have a flare I haven't had a flare since, I think it was March I had one, and I was in a lot of stress. My last job, they eliminated my position. My car died in the middle of the highway. My computer broke. All these things happened within the space of a week. I
right.
bought a new house, so I had a flare. But these little nagging health problems that I had, like I used to have swelling in my feet. They've gone away. I used to get, frozen shoulder. I don't get that anymore. These little nagging injury, and that shouldn't say injuries, but health problems are also going away while I'm doing well.
Yeah. So this is a thing, actually, a really good point that you brought up, because I think a lot of people don't understand that when the body heals, it heals holistically, meaning everything heals at the same time almost. Like it can go in layers, but there's no discernment in the body. Oh, I'll deal with the gut issue first, and then I'll go to the shoulder, and then I'll go to the knee, and then I'll go to the liver. So everything starts to heal simultaneously all the time. I mean, even if you're doing a protocol for just clearing up your diet, every cell in your body benefits from that change. It's not just the issue at hand or the reason you started it that will get affected and be improved. It's everything.
Yeah. Actually, I went to the eye doctor in May, and every year when I go, my prescription is getting worse and worse. And this past year was the first year he said, "Hey, we don't have to change your prescription." And I was wondering if that was an effect of the protocol.
Oh, it totally is. I hadn't seen my eye doctor. I saw them last in 2000, and I want to say 2007 or 8. And then I went back to the eye doctor this year because I broke all of the glasses that I had. I had like 3 pairs and they all broke. And everyone was like, the only way you'll get a new pair is if you actually go to the doctor. So I went to get this eye test done and, all their basic testing. And he did my eye exam 3 times. And he didn't say anything to me while he was doing it. He just sort of did it and he wrote down all the numbers. And then he's like, I'm just going to do this again. And he did it and he ran it again. And then he did it one more time. And he's like, I said, is everything okay? And he goes, yeah, I'm just shocked at these numbers. I said, what do you mean? He
Yeah.
goes, well, you used to be like a 4.5 in one eye and then a 3.75 in the other eye. And now you're reading a 1 point something in both eyes. And he's like, I was checking to see whether that was a real thing or whether I made a mistake. And I think that it speaks volumes to the diet that things around you that you didn't intend for your eyes to heal, but they did, right?
Yeah.
So,
and it's really nice to not have these other things that I used to have to deal with, like the swelling feet, anymore. That was a nice benefit of the protocol.
oh yeah, because it's a complete healing. Unlike when you take a drug, which is just for one thing, right? This process and this approach is it heals everything in the body. Everything heals, everything benefits. You get energy, you feel stronger, you feel brighter. And, when you don't have nagging health issues, every time you have a nagging health issue, there's a certain amount of energy in your body and in your mind that gets devoted and gives attention to that issue. So when they go away, the exponential amount of energy that you get back from not having to deal with it is phenomenal, and you feel great all around, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly. Yes.
That's kind of amazing. So, I mean, okay, so I ask everybody this, and I'm going to ask you this too. What would be your parting words? Say to someone who's listening, who's new to the journey, who's not sure about it. Um, what would you say to them was the number one thing that helped you get through all of this? Was it just the food? Was it just the emotions? Was it getting support? What would you say, or is something else? Like, what was it that really was the pivotal thing for you that you would recommend to somebody who's brand new and doesn't know what's going to happen a year from now?
I would definitely say to get some help from a practitioner, because like I said before, I kind of pieced together the protocol by myself, but you really don't know unless you work with a practitioner like yourself how much how much of a certain supplement you need, like how much vitamin C you need, how much lysine you can take. You if you're not experienced with that type of thing, you're just never going to know how much you can take, and that's going to be different for everybody. I mean, even for myself, when I first started taking the vitamin C, I had to cut it back for a little while because I was detoxing too quickly, and I kind of got panicked, and then I remember talking to you, and you said, "Oh, you're detoxing very quickly." So, and you recommended having some potatoes for dinner, which slows down the liver from detoxing, which makes the detox symptoms less. Um, I think that really helps. Also, something that really helped me is when you're changing your diet, sometimes it could be very bleak, and it could be, very sad. It feels like you're giving up on life, because there's so many comfort foods out there and so many um, foods you're giving up. Some people are probably going to be thinking, "Oh, I'm never going to have cheeseburgers again or pizza again." One resource that was really helpful for me was Instagram, and people who follow the protocol. There's so many people who put out such delicious and appealing recipes that follow the protocol. It's amazing, and it really does help to transition from eating, the standard American diet to, eating a nice, healthy, detoxing type diet all the time.
Yeah, that is a very important point you just brought up. It's a community support, right?
Yes.
So, finding your community and finding support from a practitioner who can zone in on your issues, it's really critical to have support. And I think that you mentioned that for someone on their journey, and you connected with me very regularly, which I think was critical in your journey, because if you're reaching out for help when you really need it, you can be guided along to really tweak and heal and go that path. Like it's a fine tuning, like you do for on a radio channel, So I think that is important. And for those listening, if you're struggling, get support, because I wanted to say, we're getting, personally, my practice is getting busier and busier. And that's just a fact. And I'm saying that, but that's the reason we created our online programs, Ed. I know you haven't really participated in them, but one of the reasons we did that was, how, you'd have to call us and get an appointment.
Yeah.
On the cleanses. Like, I'm in Facebook groups every day. Mm-hmm. So if you have a question, if you have a flare up, if you have a detox symptom, if you have something going on, there's not just me, but like 5 other practitioners from the medical medium practitioner group who are jumping on there going, "Hey, it could be this. Hey, it could be that." And we tag team each other. We if someone's like, I think I gave the right response. Muneeza, could you check? And I go in there and I check. I'm like, you got that. You're all good. You handle that. That's exactly what I would say. And so when we tag team each other, we're supporting each other as practitioners. And then we're collectively supporting this big group that's in here and learning and healing. And I think that what you touched upon, the piece about support, is really important, because that's what we're trying to give people in as much as possible, because I know that
Yes,
ongoing
yes.
support is the hardest part, because, time is limited, schedules are limited, and we're trying to get people the support. So um, hopefully we can continue to encourage people to do that. Thank you so much for coming on and
Oh, you're
sharing your
welcome.
story.
Thank you for having me. I
Oh,
really appreciate it.
anytime, Ed. You've been such a health warrior and such a great example of a health warrior, and I really just want to commend you and your courage and how you handled every aspect of your healing journey, from physical to emotional to spiritual. And I think all those pieces that you put them together were really, it's not one thing that did it, but the whole piece together, all of them
Yep.
really came together and gave you a great amount of success. And so thank you again for coming on. It's been a real pleasure having you.
Thank you for so much for having me on. And before I go, I just really like to thank my wife for helping me out. If it wasn't for her, I would not be able to, be here right now talking about this, because she's, put up with me when I have the crazy days and I'm waking up at 5 o'clock in the morning and making celery juice and doing all these things. She's really been, my biggest advocate and helper in this journey.
That's amazing. That's so amazing that you gave her credit too, because there are some comments on here which you're not seeing, because I'm actually on Facebook reading the comments.
Yes.
And someone said, they're all, by the way, saying hi to you. They're saying, go Ed. Thank you for sharing. This is amazing. Laura Hansen said, haha, my hubby overheard the part about men taking care of their health and ran out of the room. and and hubbies, if you're listening, oh my gosh, partner support is critical. Look at what Ed just shared. He shared how critical it is for your partner to support you. And even if they don't believe in it, and even if they're not doing it, you can still provide that support and be encouraging, and want to make a meal for them, or try to take them to a place where they can eat something, or whatever it is. It's just like, whatever you can do it, because, and this is for the partners right at home listening,
Yeah.
if you can do it, please help out, because you can help somebody be really successful and get better. And sometimes that support that you get at home, nothing beats that support, right, Ed?
Exactly. Yes.
Yeah. Well, again, thank you so much, and I will talk to you very soon.
Okay. Thank you very much.
All right, Ed, thanks so much.
Okay. Bye, everybody.
They're all saying bye. You can go back onto Facebook and see the comments. They're awesome.
I will.
All
Thank
right.
you.
Okay, thanks, Ed.
Bye.
Bye. Okay, everyone. What do you think of that interview? Wasn't Ed great? Wasn't he talking about some amazing stuff? Ed should post a story on Instagram. You know what? I am going to tell him to do that. He came back and overheard you say that too. That's so funny, Laura. I love that. Oh my gosh. Yay to partners. Yes. I think that partners they can really, really be super supportive and make someone feel really amazing on their journey. So thank you for all of you who are sharing that. And, Ed's going to come on. Hopefully he'll comment and respond to some of you. I will tell him to post a story on Instagram. Sheila, that was a great idea. So for those of you who have been asking me about the mastery program, we talked about support. Here I am to give you support. And I'm going to share my screen with you so you can see what some of the materials are in the mastery program. So, first of all, I want to share, we have meal plans and recipes. We have the cleanse. The 14-day was just like a jump start. It gets you going. It gets you in the mood. It's like you get in the mood, like you get in the mood for a lot of things. Like if you get in the mood to be intimate, or you get in the mood to watch something special, or you get in the mood to go out and run. Well, this is getting you in the mood to detox and cleanse. So it was kind of like a jump start. So we have the meals and the recipes and a deeper dive into the guides. We have amazing community support. Amazing. Tomorrow, you're probably going to hear from someone who's actually been in the program and can tell you directly more about it and what kind of support they got. And we have teaching calls. So the first month, I'm doing adrenals, lymph, and liver. Lymph, liver, and spleen. Adrenals is in the last month. Lymph, liver, and spleen. The second call I'm doing is on how to develop the consciousness of a person who attains success and victory. How to shift into that mindset. What do you leave behind, and how do you shift into the mindset of being that person who can really get their goals met and work through the resistances that hold them back. Then in month 2, we're doing tonics and herbs and supplements. And the fourth call is going to be about the gifts of suffering. And if all of you know who Casey McCluskey is, do you all know who Casey is? If you're in the medical medium like community, you all should know who Casey is, right? So Casey is Anthony's director for PR and content. And I wanted to share with you that she has contributed some of the writing on the pieces, the emotional pieces, which is amazing coming from her, because you know what? She is someone who has gone through this suffering herself, and she writes from the heart. And I'm so honored, absolutely honored, that she is sharing some of her writing with us and sharing it in the group. And we have a lot of exercises and like little workbook type things set up for you guys, so you can work through some of those and really take it in, what it means to suffer and go through a healing journey. Julie, she is an amazing writer. I completely agree. I filled a small book with the information I received in the first cleanse from the live calls. Awesome, Sandy. Thank you for sharing that. We're going to be doing so much more. So month 3 is adrenals, blood sugar, neurological system. And then the 6th call, the last one, hi, Mary, we're going to be doing building faith. You know, lots of people have asking me about this topic recently. Am I covering it? We're totally covering how to build faith and how to really, build this powerful strength within us. You know, the stuff Ed talked about? He said, all those pieces, the spiritual piece, the emotional piece, the physical piece, everything played into his healing. And this is what this program is presenting to you. All those pieces of that journey. So if you want to take a look with me, here we go. Let me switch the screen so you can see what I'm talking about. Okay. Hold on for me just one sec while I take care of that. Who wants to see? Who wants to see? Awesome. Okay, so here is, can you all see the screen? Can you all see the screen? Can you all see the pineapple? Okay, so here is the recipe guide. And we have, this is your first month of recipes. We have a juice, all juices. We have smoothies. There's lots of like vitamin waters, how to put together like a lymph weight loss flush. And then all the milks, how to put together the milks. Lots of ideas for snacks, dips. This is mostly a raw cleanse. It's mostly raw. It's taking you a step further. You can do some cooked food. It's got some cooked food in here, like the broccoli, the vegetables, and all this stuff here, and a little bit of grain if you want to bring that in, some Pakistani food in here that I put in recipes just for that. And then, you know, some of the desserts. So that's your recipe guide. That's just the first month. And I have 2 more months of guides for you. Okay. And then going into here, these are the bonuses. So in the bonuses, you get the Essential Angels. Oh, sorry, it says it can't be previewed. But you get, I can just show you what it is. So the Essential Angels bonus is actually cutouts of the angel memes that I put up on Facebook and Instagram. So you can cut them out and put them up all over your house. All the 21 angels are your favorite ones. You got the same for the life-changing angels. And then there's an I Can Heal Building Faith and Trust meditation that I'm sharing with you. There is one more bonus not listed here. And the reason it's not listed here is because it's a live call with me to talk about chronic pain and how to come out of chronic pain if you have had that experience. So it's a really powerful call with a lot of powerful information that we're sharing. And that's not all. So in month 1, you get the Love Your Body journal, the recipe guide. We break it up into suggested meals, the weekly calls. This is special. So remember I said we're talking about the lymph and the liver and the spleen? Well, this is your notes for that. Liver, lymph, spleen. What are the class notes that we're going to talk about? All this stuff in here. All these foods that we laid out, the tables to make it easy for you, and recipes for you, action points, right? What do you do? You know, there's all that stuff in there. Then in the second call, the notes for the second call, cleansing your home, deciphering emotions. This is going to be really a big deal, a really important one. And if you guys are posting questions, I can't see them right now, but as soon as I hop up here, you know, I'll tell you how I do my home, what I do, what I bring in, you know, understanding the emotions, all of the different ways of handling emotions, different scenarios. I'm giving you exercises to do. It's really, really, really very powerful. And this is work I've done in my life. So I hope that you know, get what I'm talking about when I say that this is stuff I've really done in my life. This isn't just stuff that I'm sharing with you, you know, the stuff that I think you should do. I am sharing it with you because this is stuff I've actually done. And I'm happy to share with you and teach you about that. Okay, so I am back. Can you guys see me? Just making sure the technology is working with us all the way. And so I just want to go through these questions, make sure that Carissa says, I watched the Heal documentary yesterday and the emphasis on spiritual emotional side. Yes, so much that we're going to cover on spiritual emotional side here in the Detox Mastery. It's going to be amazing. Teresa, the last day to join is Friday the 10th. Friday the 10th. You guys, if you're on the fence, please don't be on the fence. Come and join. It's going to be an incredible, incredible program. There's lots of material I'm giving you, lots that I'm sharing with you, and we will be doing both. This is not just the physical. Like the cleanses that I've done so far have been mostly physical, but you know, this will be a lot more with the emotional and spiritual side too. Miriam says, when does it start? It starts on Friday the 10th of November. This Friday is when it starts. How do people do all this and work full time? Many people on the cleanse are working full time. There's doctors on the cleanse, there's health practitioners, there's dentists, there's chiropractors, there's people who do other kinds of jobs who are, you know, in marketing and corporate. And what they do is they plan it. So we teach you how to plan it so you can deal with your life and be able to manage. So it's really about teaching you how to bring this into your life with the support to make it as easy and as powerful as possible. So Lara, Jackie, would you mind posting the link again, please? Lara, click on the link that Jackie's posting. It's going to show up right above your comment, and you can click on it and go check it out. Dorina, how many pages? I don't know. I've been writing and writing for the last month, and there's just a lot of information. So, you know, we have that. I just showed you month 1. Then there's month 2, and then there's month 3. So I know in the guide, I wrote close to 60 pages or maybe more, but I'll be teaching this information to you in live calls and teaching calls. So it'll be super powerful. Any given day, it's going to be super powerful to learn it. And you know what? You're not going to, if you don't end up using 100% of it, you'll end up using some of it. Something's going to click, something's going to shift. And you know what? There's going to be an amazing community of people. That is the most important part, is the community of people. They are going to be connecting with you. And you know what? I want to tell you something. In the first cleanse that we ever did, I was, and the admins were primarily answering people's questions. And I want to tell you the evolution that I am seeing happen within these cleanses. So this is the third cleanse that we ran, and now we're running the mastery program. And you know what's happened? There are people within the cleanses who are jumping in and answering questions. I think that's amazing. You guys are actually in there. You know the answers to questions. You're doing what Anthony calls the helping hands. You know, you have a piece of information and you share it with someone else, and then you share it with someone else, and you're like, wait, I heard this in this show. I heard this in this blog. I saw this over here. I heard him say that. And you're piecing all these pieces together and bringing it and sharing it with people, which is absolutely phenomenal. And this is exactly the kind of community that I want to create, and I am creating, because this is the kind of support that people need. You don't just need support from me and the admins, you need support from each other. And as you learn, you become extremely well knowledgeable and qualified to be able to help yourself and to help other people. This thing is about empowerment. If you felt disempowered in your life, in the first month, we are going to be breaking down those emotional pieces that keep you in that place of feeling small and feeling like it's difficult, feeling that you really can't move on from there. It's a really, really, really big deal. And so I want you to know that you can move past whatever you think is holding you back. You know, if you think, oh my gosh, why me? Oh, why does this always happen to me? Why am I struggling? Why do I have all the problems in the world? Believe me, every single human being on earth has had that thought at one time or another. And I'm telling you that you don't have to live there. We all go there. We all have those thoughts. Some of us go there more often, some of us go there less often, but we all do it. And I'm teaching you how to, if you go there, how do you pull yourself out? Because whatever you're doing that's holding you back would really, really, really support you to get out, as Lara says, victim mentality, get out of victim mentality and get into victor consciousness. Victor, to be successful, So how do you do that? And how do you reframe that? It's a training of the mind as well as training the body to heal. So there's just a lot of pieces to getting better, not just one. And I think when we're sick for a long time, people who are chronically unwell, we tend to think, oh my gosh, I'm never going to get out of this. I'm never going to get better. You sort of imagine the next 20 years of your life or 30 years of your life, or from now until the day you die, being this way. And it can really bring you down. And it's a really hard place to be. And that's what this community support is about. We are not going to let you hang out in that world, because that doesn't help you. What helps you is understanding that you can heal and understand. And we're not saying you don't have the right to feel that way. We're not saying you don't have the validity of your emotions. You absolutely do, but don't live there. And we teach you how to come out of it, because it is so common in people who have chronic illness. And I'm telling you, this is from my heart. I'm telling you from working with thousands of people, thousands, not hundreds, thousands of people, that when you're sick, this is what you need help with, your emotional landscape. And not everybody will seek out a practitioner for emotional support. Sometimes they think it's a weird thing to do. They don't want to waste money on that. Is it really going to help them? Well, in this program, for not a lot of money every month, you can use the payment plan. You can sign up for the whole program. You can get the emotional and the physical health support. And any questions that you have in your mind, come on there and they can be answered. Now, I'm not doing readings and I'm not providing dosages, but in month 2, I teach you how to use dosages correctly. for yourself how to figure it out. It is really, really, really important to be empowered. I don't want you to feel like the only way you can heal is by signing up with a practitioner or waiting for a private consult. In fact, so many people who have been waiting for appointments have signed up for this program, and they're like, oh my God, I can get kick-started with things. And then by the time I talk to you, I'll be in such a better place to actually work on very specifically, like really tweak, fine tune the stuff that you talked about in the cleanse and in the detox mastery program. Vanessa, yes, there's a payment plan. You get a 3-month payment plan, and it's no different than the full price. And you get a 15% discount code. It's in the emails that we sent out this morning. If you want to know more about that and you want the code and you didn't get the email Jackie at team at muneezaahmed.com, and we will get that for you and get you set up. There's no reason for you guys not to do this. We've made it as easy as possible. And nobody keeps the payment plan price the same as the full price. Well, we did that because I'm not in the game of charging you, interest or money or whatever. I just want you guys to get the help that you need to help you get better at something that is as affordable as I can make it for you. So please, if you're listening, if you're on the fence, if you're thinking about it, please, please, please know that there are a lot of ways to make this work. And if you're looking for the community, it is there. The community is already there. In the cleanse, there's a lot of people in the cleanse who are just going to be moving into mastery, and they cannot wait. And, it is going to be amazing. So are the calls, are those at set times, or can we call in when we have the time? No, the calls will be at set times, but you have the replays, Monica, and you can access the replays at any time. There's a call every week on this program. Every week. You start with a teaching call, then a live call, then a teaching call, then a live call. So in the live call, you can ask me questions. In the teaching call, I'm just going to be teaching. And then you jump onto the Facebook group to ask questions. But in the live call, you can talk with me directly and ask me questions, and I'll answer them. And it's just a really cool place and way to get answers to your health issues and your problems by being able to have that direct access, which is not available any other way. I'm telling you, the way I can work in these groups, it's very hard for me to work even privately. There's so much more information that we can provide. And I feel like every single person should be here because it gives you that background. There's so much information shared that when you meet me privately, you're like, okay, Muneeza, I got this. Now tell me about this thing that I'm having an issue with. It becomes so streamlined because you get so much information and you learn so much about yourself that there's no way I could even give you all of that information in 10 private consults, because private consults, people are usually struggling and they want help with their supplements, and that's fine and good. But that community support, I'm telling you, it is an integral part of this healing journey. And the people who are doing that and the private consults, matching it up together, they're having a lot of success because they're finding the support is invaluable. Like Ed said in his interview, it's an integral part of the journey. So I really, really want you guys to check it out. Jackie, if you can post the link again, because it keeps going down. There's so many people, jumping on here. So I just really, Miriam says, I relate to what you're saying. Thank you for your compassion, passion. You're welcome, Miriam. Lara says, is it kind of like an FB Live, except it's more detailed and I can spend more time on your question, okay? And because I get the questions ahead of time, I look over them. I'm kind of intuitively tuning into everybody ahead of time. I'm not doing readings and I'm not providing dosages, but I can intuitively help you much more in depth on this program than I can on an FB Live. So Dorina saying, I love the replays. Carissa says, I've already learned so much. Jackie's like, there's a fantastic team available to you. Margie says the program has been put together well, considering how much there is to share. You guys, thank you for jumping in and supporting the program. I feel so touched that you're doing that. And you guys, it's not coming from me. These are independent people. I didn't ask them to come on and say this. They're saying this themselves. And so I really just want you to know it's designed and geared towards your healing, your journey, providing you support. And we really put our heart and souls into this. I'm telling you, I'll tell you something today that came on to the cleanse group, which is something very, very unusual. And I don't think it really exists anywhere else. And one of our admins, one of our moderators, shared something very special about his view on medical testing. And he gave examples of when 2 tests were run at the same time and, you know, how the results were so different. So he gave us this view into testing that Anthony talks about, but he actually provided examples of it. And it was amazing. Like, to read that, I read it like 4 times. Even though I know it, I read it 4 times because he laid it out so beautifully. And this is the kind of information that you're not going to get anywhere else because it doesn't exist anywhere else. And it's from this really amazing group of practitioners, medical medium practitioners, who are sharing this information in the world. Like, you reading this was such a gift to the whole group. I don't even think people realize how much of a gift it is because, you know, it is not available anywhere else. That's the kind of stuff that we can get into with you that isn't going to be anywhere else, and shared in a way that isn't going to be anywhere else, and supported in a way that isn't supported anywhere else, and supporting you with medical medium protocols. A group like this does not exist. I'm serious. I'm absolutely serious. Kirsten said, I just read his post. It was so helpful. It was, wasn't it? It was amazing how he wrote it. And so Julie says, I love the program. So much needed information. Can't wait for mastery. I'm so excited to share this with you guys. Miriam says, doing the protocol while traveling at conferences and hotels. We have a gal on there. I don't want to give her name away, but she's on there and she has a job where she travels all the time. She is amazing at how she organizes her life to be able to do the protocols. And just, I mean, I'm amazed at how she figures it out. And Miriam, like, she would be willing to share with you how to do this when traveling. It's amazing the support. I'm not even joking you. It's amazing the support that's available. Denise says, I'm so excited for mastery. You can't afford not to do this program. Oh my gosh. Thank you so much for saying that, Denise. Muneeza, you're awesome. So much support and information. I read every single comment. I'm not kidding you. I read every single comment. I make sure every single comment is responded to. And if it's not, I ask you to post the question again so we can, right? This isn't about leaving anybody out. It isn't about making anyone feel bad. We're really just wanting to help you. And Alyssa's like, thank you for doing these coachings and cleanses. Everything you're saying is so true. I've done all of the ones you have offered. The amount of support and knowledge you and the community provides is truly priceless. Can't wait for mastery. You guys, I'm going to start crying because this is my dream come true. If you're on the fence, if you need support, if you want the help, please consider joining. It is my absolute honor to support you in this program. And it is my honor that I get amazing practitioners from the medical medium practitioner group, support group, to stand along with me and work with us together as a team. And together we all hold the entire group in like a big circle, like all of us holding hands and with you guys in the middle. And that's our vision. Like when we start, before we start any program, we all do a little meditation, imagining that we're all holding you, because that's the container we create. And we put a lot of love, a lot of heart, and a lot of support into this. And I just want you guys to know that we won't let you down, honestly. Laura says, can we continue on supplements we're on? You absolutely can. You absolutely can. And so it's, yeah, reach out to us if you have questions, team@muneezaahmed.com, or check out the links that Jackie posted. Honestly, it's something that has emerged from the depths of my soul to help people like you struggling with chronic illness in the medical medium way, looking for the support that's been probably missing in your life this whole time. And I'm finally being able to offer this program. And I just want to say, I I am honored that you would even consider sitting with me on this live and listening to me all the way through. Because if you're listening, I know you're interested and I know that you want this help. So please reach out. And I love you all. Thank you so much for getting me and showing up and supporting me. And likewise, I want to support you. So sending you blessings, sending you hugs, and big, big, big bear hugs. All right, you guys, have an amazing night. And if you have questions, reach out. Lots of love.